So what exactly do we have to wait for in order for XRP to break all these limits and actually go to the $10, $20, even $30 that we're all hoping is going to reach? The simple story is there's really not that much that's keeping us from these massive gains. As far as I believe, the bull market is back, and even though there might be a couple of hiccups along the way, you should already start preparing heavily. I mean, as you guys know, I've stacked up XRP like a madman because I know what I hold, but I've also been doing that for a lot of other altcoins. And before we move on, I'll say it like always. Make sure you press that like button to spread the positivity. You get nothing for it because you could, even if you don't press the like button, watch this video, but hey, it does help out. Black Swan Capitalist had this to say: the next couple of years will usher an unprecedented bull market that will surpass every previous cycle by a significant margin. The winners will solidify their position and strategically consolidate the industry. The greatest wealth transfer in history is about to begin. And they've placed XRP, hashtag XRP behind it, all right? And I, for that reason, have also decided to wear an XRP shirt, you know, like, yeah, for sure. Authentic XRP shirt. You see that's a quality shirt right there, you know? But I'm going to be honest with you here. Getting rich with crypto is actually very simple. I know many people have said that. I know. But really listen to me carefully, because I'm telling this to you guys as a friend here. I honestly think, and this is completely no bias, just complete honesty here, if you're just smart with it and you just buy every single time we're at the lower points of the cycle, you're almost guaranteed to be successful, because there's two options. One, you actually open a long position every single time the price goes down. You add to it, because that way, even if you only have $1,000 to your entire name, your entire net worth is $1,000, which I know to some people is a lot, but in the grand scheme of investments is not much money. You can still, like with leverage, make sure it can be used as more. And so obviously you don't buy a $1,000 position once. You buy, for example, $100, and then you basically layer in as the price goes down lower. Hopefully it never does, right? Because hopefully the price just keeps gaining. But if it does, you've basically got buy set up as the prices fall lower. Even right now, you guys know, I have an XRP long open where my average price is ridiculously high, maybe even 72 cents right now. Even though it's a 45% profit right now as we speak, it could drop it to a loss, but basically, the lower the prices go, I have already made sure I have so many buys set up that even if it goes to 10 cents, right, I'm going to have to add a significant amount of money to my trade. But I know, right, me personally, I'm quite convinced, maybe you guys aren't, but I am, that if I just keep buying more and more and more, eventually I'll catch the bottom. And so there is going to be an uptick, and that will basically result in the massive amount of gains, right? Some people consider this to be like a DCA, a dollar cost averaging, which by definition it is, strategy. Some people actually refer to it as martingale, because at the end of the day, in theory, you keep doubling down and losing money as prices go lower, but you keep doubling down until at some point you make the gains as we go back up. But the thing is, as you keep lowering your average price, like with dollar cost averaging, let's say your first buys were at $1, your last buy is at at 1 cent, whatever, let's just call it 10 cents. The moment it goes from that 10-cent mark now to 50 cents, depending on how much you kept buying as prices went lower, you've got massive gains on the upside now. The point being here, I believe that the bull market has already started, meaning the lowest point of this cycle, this halving cycle, is in. And I believe that the XRP lawsuit marked the actual spike returning. Here's a good example of what I mean. If you take a look at XRP throughout history, you can see that every now and then it just has a massive spike. Now, in theory, the reason I didn't draw this one in just now, the 2017 top to the 2020 bottom, which again, this was the lowest part, is because this spike was a little bit of a fake out where we didn't even cross the 200 weekly moving average. And the unfortunate part is that here we also, didn't have any 200 weekly moving average data, because obviously that's data for 4 years. But the point is still quite clear. The moment that it broke out, XRP here, it just went on for a massive rally in a massive bull market. This time it broke out, but it didn't actually breach any barriers. Right now, we again are having a breakout that's above all expectations, above a couple of moving averages we've now broken in 4 years. And again, what happened 4 years ago? Well, again, right now, 4 years ago, we didn't actually breach any crazy price within this era either. So we had the bullish momentum then that we're having now, basically. We didn't cross any crazy levels at that point. I think right now XRP is looking for a little bit of revenge. Again, as the cycle comes in hot. At least that's what I personally believe. One thing I'll say before we move on though, guys, is check out my $500 giveaway. Basically, the first 50 people to sign up and make a trade will get $10 in XRP on the house, on your boy Dusty BC. So check the link down below for BitGet. Again, just sign up, make a trade, you get $10 in a couple of days. Today is your last day to join. That's why I'm putting it out there right now. And actually, Plan B is one of the guys that's also on that line of saying, congratulations, you have survived the worst Bitcoin bear market ever. Because again, historically, Bitcoin always moves in a certain cycle that I still think we're following even right now. And here was a little bit of a drawing of what could potentially happen. Massive spikes, not breaching the all-time high though before falling down, just before the end of the halving happens. And then going into the halving, usually there's actually bullish momentum. And then starting out after the halving, there's also bullish momentum until a new all-time high is reached about a third into the halving. Every single time that top, let me show you. The top is basically always at about a third into the halving cycle. You can see it all the way back here in 2013, 2014, where it was about a third in. Then the 2017 cycle, so to speak, it was also about a third, a little bit like that in. Here also, you can see about a third or so in. We saw a new all-time high. And then right now, again, we're expecting a similar result to happen where this cycle is every 4 years. So about a year and a half into it or so, potentially October of 2025, maybe right around here, there should be a new all-time high. And what price is it going to be? That we do not know. I mean, in theory, it could be as low as $100,000. It could be as high as, $250,000, $300,000. We do not know, but I think that will also reflect back upon XRP. There's also something else that was quite interesting. I saw over on Twitter, a lot of people state that Korea is buying plenty of XRP. And I thought at first, why is that of significance? Why is that relevant? But really, when you start taking a look at XRP right now, it's about 77 cents, but this might change as it takes a little bit of time for me to go through this video and upload it, so the price might be different. But you can see right here at the bottom, if we actually select by volume, the most amount of volume is not from the #1 exchange in the world, Binance. No, it actually comes from Upbit, which is a XRP to Korean won pair. And over on Upbit, which has got massive amounts of volume, the #1 most traded cryptocurrency is XRP. I mean, it's been that way for a good time, but it represents 30% of their entire exchange. So realistically, XRP is just absolutely massive over in Korea. And I know that because remember when XRP hit its all-time high, that was because of some Korean price changes and because of some Korean doors shutting down, whatever. But still, the idea that Korea caused so much of the price to pump basically at that point, again, leads me to believe that the moment that Korea decides the bull market is in for XRP, that it's about to happen, that's when things really might start popping off. And a lot of people have asked me, so should you be buying more XRP? Should you still hold it? When are you going to sell it? Well, me and a lot of others have stated that the effect on the price as of this point has been quite minimal. I mean, it's doubled in price, so it was nice, but even an ex-Ripple executive denies effect on the XP price, unveils key factors. He said Ripple are the single largest holder of XRP with something like a ton of XRP. Most of it is held in escrow contracts that release each month. Ripple sell a small portion of that, and put the rest back into new escrow. As for influencing price, the totality daily sales volume globally of XRP is about 4 billion. So Ripple's holdings are pretty small in comparison. The price of XRP mostly follows the test of the market and mostly follows Bitcoin. To this last part, I agree. XRP mostly follows Bitcoin in terms of trend. This is partially, again, about if Ripple were to be in the worst case scenario and had to sell XRP, it probably wouldn't be that bad. Because in theory, the order could be that they have to pay, $1 million a day or something like that. Well, who's going to notice $1 million extra selling pressure for XRP a day? Nobody, right? Even $3 million, nobody really noticed. When XRP, for example, is trading at $10, could be that it's 300,000 XRP extra sales per day. Nobody would notice that. But my point here is, the moment that Bitcoin goes into some sort of rally, XRP is most likely going to outperform. Where right now, I think that XRP deserves to be around the #2 spot. So a little bit below Bitcoin, but above Ethereum in terms of where it's at in the market. Because it's got the proper clarity. It's got everything proper. The only thing is, still got a lot of FUD around it, and it's been manipulated down. Like I said before, I believe Bitcoin should have also been a lot higher right now, but I believe they're also suppressing the price for the Bitcoin ETFs to roll in first, as we're going to see some sort of results in that in about 2.5 weeks. So very often, you'll see the price start to move slightly before the actual event, potentially even down as they're trying to manipulate it for this ETF to hop on in. But afterwards, as everything is loose, things can start to go insano style. Like I've said before, right now XRP is in a situation where so many partners that have been waiting for years are going to start adopting it. All it takes is a little bit of time for the wheels to start rolling, right? For the motion machine to start working. But I do believe it's already predestined, basically, and it's set in stone. A lot of companies, US banks have said, hey, we actually were interested, but we're waiting it out a little bit. Those parties are going to start hopping on the utility wave for XRP, which has been suppressed for a couple years right now, especially when Ethereum and Bitcoin went on this bull market. Well, it's eventually going to shine. Right now, I truly believe that XRP is extremely undervalued and should be at more dollar, like $6, I think should be a okay price for right now. But the next all-time high for the bull market, guys, I really honestly believe $20, $30 should not be that crazy. But let me just tell you, if you want to be very conservative and you just follow the curve that's been proven for the last 12 years or so, just right now, still we're at cheap prices for all these cryptos. So what I'm doing right now is just buying it up, because in about a year or so, I do believe, and please bookmark this, clip this, copy this. I believe in about a year from now, maybe a little bit more, we're going to be at such a high point that everybody will look at this and think, oh, damn, if only I bought more. Because it happens every single time. You think, oh, it might never happen again like the previous time, and then it happens again. Of course, history doesn't have to repeat, but usually it does in some strange, weird way or form, especially because Bitcoin is such a scarce asset. People are very like-minded in that essence. The only thing that might be changing here is the institutions coming in to wreck things a little bit, because more and more money could flow in, and they know the game better than anybody else, so that might wreck things. And that is something I'm weary of. But generally speaking, I do believe the direction from now forward is upwards with some hiccups along the road. But for XRP, I just think it's going to outperform basically almost anything, especially of what we just mentioned. And I don't think this fear of Ripple having to pay $1 billion XRP or whatever, $1 billion, even if they have, it's not a big deal, I think. And so now, guys, if you've not done it yet, make sure you put that notification bell on. Because what if something crazy happens? You want to be notified. Like I always say, it doesn't cost you anything, but you might gain something from it, which is why I highly recommend it. And I'll see you guys again in another one.